It was a commemoration of the additional class. In the mid-year of 2024, the Chandra X-ray telescope celebrated its 25th birthday. Furthermore, NASA released 25 of the most stunning pictures ever taken by this telescope. Chandra is certainly one of the most remarkable telescopes we humans have placed directly in space. The X-ray telescope captures far-off galaxies, astronomical nebulae, and the remnants of massive supernova blasts. Let us venture together through the entrancing surge of this universe of pictures. What Chandra has given us in 25 years of work is truly staggering. All of the pictures show us the wealth of the universe in a beauty never seen before. ERP-220. We start this vivid journey through the universe with one of the most brilliant galaxies we know, ERP-220. It is an ultraluminous infrared galaxy and was formed by the impact of two galaxies. The collision set off intense star development. The two galaxies went on to expand during their vast marriage. This crash also produced a huge amount of gas and dust that blocks the galaxy's light. Despite the blockage, scientists have been able to locate over 200 monster star clusters in the galaxy, ERP-220, whose environment is characterized by extreme conditions. This galaxy is also one of the most powerful radio sources in the sky and provides astronomers with insights into the development and behavior of galaxy centers during impacts. Pillars of Creation. The Chandra X-ray Observatory's mission began in 1999, and the Pillars of Creation were among the first pictures taken. This notable structure in the Eagle Nebula was first seen by the Hubble Space Telescope. The column-shaped structures consist of thick, cold clouds of dust and gas, in which an enormous number of new stars are being formed. The support points owe their shape to the UV light of the young, hot stars, which is emitted by the surrounding gas. Thus, the light emissions dramatically show the dynamic processes of star formation. NGC 3532. The open star cluster NGC 3532 is also called the wishbone cluster or football cluster by astronomers. It's situated around 1,300 light-years away in the constellation Carina. It's a young star cluster, about 300 million years old, containing many dazzling blue and yellow stars. This cluster is especially famous with amateur astronomers since it's visible to the naked eye with a simple telescope and in an unobstructed view. NGC 3532 was also the first object photographed by the Hubble Space Telescope after its launch in 1990. NGC 6872. Let's travel further to the constellation of the Peacock. There, we find one of the largest known galaxies, with a diameter of more than 500,000 light-years. NGC 6872 isn't just astonishingly large, but also curiously shaped. It is surprisingly bent, and this shape is most likely caused by interactions with the nearby companion galaxy IC 4970. The gravitational forces acting on the approach of the two galaxies have stretched and distorted the spiral arms of NGC 6872. Considering these vivid pictures, the question arises repeatedly as to whether the universe is actually so colorful. Formally, the colors are made by the use of filters, but color also occurs naturally. Frequently, gases form the colors: green, red, yellow, or in this case, a dazzling pink and red under certain filters. NGC 1850. NGC 1850 is a striking globular cluster in the Large Magellanic Cloud, which forms part of our Milky Way as a satellite galaxy. The cluster is about 160,000 light-years from the outer regions of the Milky Way. What makes this formation strange is that it contains young stars, which is unusual for globular clusters. Astronomers suspect that the cluster was formed by a massive burst of star formation. Crab Nebula. The Crab Nebula is the remnant of a supernova explosion observed by Chinese astronomers in 1054, situated in the constellation Taurus. The nebula consists of a complex structure of gas and dust, and the nebula is still expanding at around 1,500 kilometers per second. At the center of the nebula is the Crab Pulsar, a neutron star that spins very rapidly and emits high-energy radiation in the process. The Crab Nebula is a significant research site for pulsars and the physics of supernova remnants. MSH 15 to 52. MSH 15 to 52 is also a supernova remnant, but this time, we are in the constellation Norma. At the center of the cloud is a high-energy pulsar called PSRB 509D58. This object is known to be one of the most powerful X-ray sources in the sky and is frequently studied by NASA satellites. Supernova remnants and pulsars are real treats for researchers. AEL 2125. Let's continue our magnificent journey through the universe and head to the constellation Ursa Major. AEL 2125 is a massive galaxy cluster about 3 billion light-years away. It contains many galaxies in a particularly dense intergalactic environment. Only Chandra, with its unique X-ray technology, can pierce through this thick environment to show us the galaxy cluster in all its grandeur. The cluster is a significant observation site for astrophysicists since numerous galaxy collisions take place here, continually changing the structure of the cluster. Virgo Cluster. Galaxy clusters are among the most impressive structures in the universe. They bring together hundreds to thousands of galaxies in a grandiose dance. The Virgo Cluster is the nearest large galaxy cluster to the Milky Way and is situated in the Virgo constellation. It contains around 1,300 to 2,000 galaxies, as well as an especially large number of bright elliptical and spiral galaxies. The Virgo cluster also impacts the development of galaxies in our region through its gravitational pull and plays an important role in investigations into the mass distribution in the entire known universe. NGC 3324. NGC 3324, also known as the Gabriela Mistral Cloud, is an emission nebula in the constellation Carina. The cloud is formed by strong radiation from hot, young stars and is illuminated in a captivating way. This region of intense star formation shows a near-human and female profile, which gave it its name. NGC 3324 is of particular interest to astronomers since it displays stars at various stages of development. Snake Nebula. The Snake Nebula, or Snake Cloud, lies in the constellation Ophiuchus and is a dark cloud of dense dust and gas. It blocks the light from the stars behind it and has a striking shape reminiscent of a snake. It contains numerous young protostars that are at the very beginning of their development. This dark cloud is a perfect example of how gravity and gas density interact to start star formation processes. SN 1987A. The supernova SN 1987A is the closest and brightest supernova explosion of modern times. It was discovered in the Large Magellanic Cloud in 1987. This event marked the first time scientists had observed a supernova in detail at all stages of its development, and the process will continue for thousands of years. SN 1987A also led to the discovery of neutrinos being produced during a supernova explosion. These ghostly particles are found throughout the universe and are considered something like giant couriers. Neutrinos easily pass through thin structures of matter and were even used, for example, to examine the pyramids of Giza in a completely new way. WR24. WR24 is a Wolf-Rayet star in the constellation Sagitta, around 15,000 light-years away from us. These stars are among the most extreme and hottest stars in the universe, and they lose mass rapidly due to strong stellar winds. The star is surrounded by a gas cloud called M1-67, which was formed by these extreme stellar winds. WR24 is particularly fascinating because it will likely explode as a supernova at a later stage. G2.50.9 G21.59. This is a supernova remnant located in the constellation Scorpius and is particularly bright in the X-ray range. For Chandra, this object was an extraordinary treat, and we are excited to get details from another supernova. At the center of this remnant, scientists found a neutron star emitting high-energy particles and surrounding a shell of charged gas. Center of the Milky Way. The center of the Milky Way is about 26,000 light-years from Earth, and it's a highly dynamic region. The true center is a massive black hole called Sagittarius A star. Compared to other galactic centers, the black hole at our center is still quiet. Sagittarius A** scarcely consumes matter and gives our home, Earth, a lovely, quiet, and stable shape. Concentrating on this middle aids cosmologists in understanding how dark holes and cosmic centers function and collaborate with each other. HB5. With HB5, we have another beautiful cloud in the group of stars Aquila. The cloud is known for its complex structure and radiant blue and green colors. In this case, the tones are formed by ionized oxygen and nitrogen gas. At the center of the cloud is a dying star that is currently expelling its outer layers. Thanks to images of HB5, we have important data about the final stages of development of Sun-like stars. NGC 7469. The spiral shape is by far the most common shape for galaxies in the universe. NGC 7469 is an especially active spiral galaxy located around 200 million light-years away in the constellation Pegasus. It is famous for its brilliant center, which appears pink in Chandra's images with a yellowish core. At the center of NGC 7469 is an especially bright quasar. These very massive black holes are surrounded by heaps of hot gas, which gleams brightly in images. NGC 1365. NGC 1365 is a magnificent barred spiral galaxy in the constellation Fornax, around 56 million light-years away. This galaxy is renowned for its distinctive bar that stretches across the center. Thanks to pictures from Chandra, scientists have been able to find various regions of intense star formation in NGC 1365, and this galaxy also contains a supermassive black hole at its center. Orion Cloud. Anybody who loves space science is sure to be familiar with the Orion Cloud, also known as M42. Seen from our perspective, this is the brightest and most famous emission nebula and is situated about 1,344 light-years away in the Orion constellation. The cloud is a large star formation region containing various young stars, protostars, and gas clouds. For researchers, this massive stellar nursery is an ideal laboratory for studying the processes that lead to the formation of new stars and planetary systems. The I systems. The galaxies NGC 4435 and NGC 4438 are called the eyes because they appear to be a pair of eyes when observed through a telescope. The pair is found in the Virgo cluster, and these galaxies show remarkable interactions that distort gas and dust structures in a unique way, subsequently invigorating the development of stars. NGC 7469. Again, this galaxy also shows a beautiful spiral shape. This especially active world, situated around 200 million light-years away, shines in the constellation Pegasus. It's home to an active galactic nucleus containing a supermassive black hole. The black hole draws material from its surroundings, creating intense beams of UV and X-ray radiation. As a result, NGC 7469 is one of the brightest light sources in the night sky. Another thrilling feature of this galaxy is the heavenly ring around its center. Copia A. This is another brilliant cosmic explosion remnant that detonated around 300 years ago in the constellation Copia. This pale blue, glowing heavenly remnant is also one of the brightest radio sources in the sky today, with debris made of hot gas, X-ray groups, and particles, making it one of the most exciting cosmic observation sites in the universe. Cat's Paw Cloud. It is very impressive how much imagination researchers have. Again and again, they see specific similarities between large features and recognizable shapes or characters. In this case, one scientist suddenly compared it to a cat's soft paw, and thus the emission cloud in GC 6334 was given the name Cat's Paw Cloud. It is one of the most dynamic star-forming regions in our own galaxy. If you want to observe the cloud with a beginner telescope, you need to search in the direction of the constellation Scorpius. The radiation from the young stars continually shapes and changes the cloud, making it one of the most popular research objects. Centaurus A. In the charts of the most powerful radio sources in the known universe, Centaurus A would be at the top. Also known as NGC 5128, this galaxy has a striking dust ring and an active galactic core that is home to a supermassive black hole. This enormous marvel can be seen about 13 million light-years away in the Centaurus constellation. Max J35. In this image, you are looking directly at a gravitational lens. Max J0035 also known as MAX J354630.